Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to IRL's F1 League. This is the big one. We're very pleased to welcome you with us, and we are brought to you today, as always, sponsored by GT Omega and Nelcut Hall Hotel Golf and Country Club, and supported in partnership with gridfinder.com and Driver61. My name is Webbo. I am your commentator tonight, and joining me, as ever, is everybody's favourite Lightning. Hey, Lightning, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm all right, thank you.
Well, Lightning, we were just talking before the stream about what we're expecting to see tonight, but I'll just have a quick word about the drivers' standings as they stand. It's round 4. We're going to Canada, to the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Daniele Musso holds on to the lead in the championship by a fair few points, by 3 points, I think, even though he didn't start last week, with Livingwall in second in the Aston Martin, followed by Max, Nathan, Burmeister and Acosta, all on very similar points. In the constructors, we have Alfa Romeo out there in the lead from Alpine and Aston Martin, and Ferrari still yet to score after 3 rounds. Sorry, so they obviously need to pick up the finishes a little bit more, and we'll be looking forward to seeing if those guys can indeed get out there and start scoring points tonight. We are almost underway, but you were just having a look at some of the time trials, Lightning, before we got going to see what we might expect in qualifying.
Yep, I was looking through the list, and surprise, surprise, Daniele Musso is top of IRL, number 60 in the world, with a very fast 1 minute 8.2, followed by Livingwall in 150th in the world with a 1 minute 8.5. So for this qualifying session, because it's short qualifying and the actual race and the conditions are different, I'm expecting pole to be around a 1 minute 8.6. That'd be a very good lap, I think.
Fantastic. Okay, looks like Burmeister is out first, and Burmeister, his fans are here first as well. So welcome to Abbey. I'll try and welcome everybody as they join, but if we get the kind of audience that we usually enjoy, that might be difficult. But Abbey's in first and Burmeister's out first as well, so we'll track along with him. What are the specific challenges that drivers need to worry about tonight in Canada, Lightning, from a driving perspective?
Track limits, yet again. It's one of the hardest tracks to keep it on the track.
Yeah.
Nearly every chicane, there's a chance that you'll exceed. So qualifying is going to be very difficult. Very important to try and get a good banker lap, not push the limits too much, because even a slower lap could benefit you with other people invalidate.
Yeah. Yeah, so good to get the early one in. More important than ever here. It's quite a short track, so traffic is going to be a bit of a problem with a number of blind braking zones. But braking for the final chicane, Lightning, is Burmeister. Let's go along and ride along with him and talk us through a lap in action.
Okay, heading into turn 1. Look to the end of the gravel. 3rd gear, nice entry. Keep to the inside through there, and then outside for the exit. Brake just before the 50 meters. Cut that inside chicane a little bit more, but pretty nice run so far. Difficult braking zone here, very easy to lock up. Nice rotation, very difficult tracking zone, most difficult of the track, but he had a nice run through there. Heading under the bridge, brake right at the end of the bridge. Nice run to the chicane, very easy to invalidate or spin through there. Keep to the outside, very nice late braking, good rotation, critical exit for the very long back straight. Nice run through there, clean traction, all the way down the longer straight of the track. Wait for your braking point, just after the bump. Nice clean run through the final chicane, didn't invalidate, gets a good banker lap in.
So a first lap then of 109.9. That's a lot slower than you were expecting at this at the final end of the session, but good to get a lap in, a safe lap, and you can start to build on that, of course, as we go through. And then a 109.8 on medium tyres is Livingwall immediately. I think Keza is just doing a lap as well. Nathan goes fastest on the soft tyres with a 0.3. So the time's dropping already.
Good bank lap.
Definitely.
Especially for Livingwall on those mediums.
And we have Reshka at 110.4. Very safe.
I think we have Keza finishing his lap now.
Yes, indeed.
Into the final chicane. Oh, I think he cut the corner.
Did cut the final corner, and that's all she wrote for that lap, unfortunately, for Keza. So let's head down. I think A. Quinlan's just gone on a 109.5 provisional pole.
That's a very good lap, especially for this early on in the session.
Daniele is out on a lap, about to start a lap, is he? On medium tyres? No, he's just finished a lap, a 109.3 on mediums, Lightning. That's rapid.
Wow. That's pretty damn good. Especially considering it's only the first 5 minutes, so the track is not near its best just yet. I think he's going on a consecutive lap at the moment. Looking very fast.
He certainly is, yeah. We'll ride with him for now then. As I'm just looking for the next driver. I think Acosta is running at the moment. A member of the LATAM Formula Racing team. Acosta. So Daniele then 1.5 tenths under his best time. His second lap on the mediums with a short track. That's certainly possible, and he's going to be able to get a tow here. Yeah, not much because Rimac bailed out of the lap quite early, but he got a tow down into the hairpin. You think?
It wasn't the best tow, but it was something, so it'll help a little bit.
How did that not invalidate?
Amazing run through there. That was fabulous.
I just don't know how he escaped that one. 109.257 is now his second time. Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic.
It looks like Acosta has unfortunately invalidated. So we'll go down to Bills, who is in the McLaren. And this track may throw up some surprises when it comes to pace, Lightning, because it's very atypical as a circuit. It has its very own unique characteristic.
Absolutely. Also, the weather might play a role.
Yeah.
We have seen some very hectic, changeable conditions, but I'm not entirely sure what the weather forecast is at the moment. I'm hoping for
that. Bills has gone purple in the middle sector. Sorry to talk over you there, but I think that's against his own time, so I won't get too excited. But the medium tyres should help the drivers with their strategy if they can qualify on it.
Well, this track, if you do a one-stop, it's not the best strategy. So a two-stop is the superior strategic option for this circuit. So a medium soft to have the middle and the last stint as fast as possible is going to be a big advantage to you, especially when everybody else is on the mediums.
Yes.
Mediums.
Rimac has just gone P3 with a 109.375. I think he's now cooling down and heading back to the pits, so we'll find someone else. Is Livingwall back out again?
He is starting a lap now, yes. I do believe. Alright,
let's follow Livingwall then. I always get surprised by corner 3, Lightning. It always comes sooner than I think it should. A Speedqueen goes pole on a 109.0.
It's a very good lap. Livingwall, not the best run through that chicane, but very good exit onto the back straight. There are lots of straights, so I don't know which one's which. Oh, and an invalidation, that's a shame.
I think the last straight is called Casino Straight in some people's opinions, but I don't think any of the other straights are named specifically.
Casino Straight. Okay, well.
Yeah.
There are lots. I'll just say on the straight. There you go.
Well, in fact, none of them are entirely straight. And down the Casino Straight is actually turn 11.
Don't complicate things, no.
Yeah, everything. You're always working the steering wheel pretty much. There's a small gap, but yeah. So Bills is working the wheel and going 0.2 faster this time out. So Livingwall P2 in the championship, currently driving at P8 level. He's going to have to pick that up a little bit. Bills takes a huge amount through turn 8 of the apex there. Amazing to not invalidate.
And it's quite bumpy as well, so it can throw you off a bit.
Yeah. I haven't seen too many drivers complaining about exit curbs in Canada Lightning. A little bit kinder here than on other tracks.
Well, I did a few laps, and for me, there is one killer exit curb that I can never get it right. It's turn 6 exit, I believe.
Okay.
That curve there, if you touch it in the wrong way, it can send you flying into the wall.
Excellent. So just about where Aquilin is right now. He's on the way out now. When you watch real life Grand Prix, you do see drivers cutting so close to the walls and risking grazing the walls nearly every lap. But I haven't seen that from sim drivers. Well, and I cut to Daniele, who fair clatters the wall, going purple in his first sector, but he did clatter the wall on the way out of turn 4.
I can't notice any damage. Hopefully he doesn't have any.
Yeah. So under the bridge then, turning in and out for 6 and 7. Sorry, 8 and 9, that one. We'll go down to the turn 10 hairpin. One of the only hairpins in Formula 1 that actually resembles a real life hairpin. Quite interesting. With a fairly constant radius and then a cut back. But Daniele then looking to get back on the front row if at all possible.
Never mind.
And he's going in the pits.
I think he must have had some damage from that and lost time through the chicane.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Martin then, who's Martin for Ferrari, again just hits the wall in the first sector, same place as Daniele, and that's not going to do him any favours.
Oh, he's got a puncture.
The same thing. Wow.
That's the simulation damage for you.
It is.
Hardest possible damage you can get on the game.
Livingwall's about to start another lap. So going wide entry into turn 1. Oh, he's got a McLaren in the pit lane. Yeah.
Going to put you off a bit.
Just that momentary
nice
hesitation.
Run. Yeah. Clean run through that chicane. Lots of chicanes on this circuit. Very late braking.
Yeah, looking good through this one. It's 0.2 faster. We've got a fairly condensed field here. We've got drivers first to 11th within a second of each other, and we haven't hit the business end of qualifying just yet. We've got 6 minutes to go before the checker flag falls.
Getting the strategic game in play.
It does look like a toe, doesn't it? Yeah. Looks like Keza just waiting to give a toe to Livingwall, who had already purpled the middle sector of the lap. This one should open it up. He's opened up DRS. Keza,
absolutely perfect.
Are you going to get out of the way? Yes, you are. I know some leagues disapprove of toes, but I think it's okay here. I'm sure someone will tell us if it's not. But Livingwall for the line then. A P7 wasn't good enough to get him right up the front. Everybody now on softs Lightning. No one's going to try those mediums.
Only 4/10 off. So such close margins, and
definitely
4/10 can put you to 8th.
You see Foxy Red 3/10 under his best time, which is target pole position in the Mercedes. Just slight over rotation through the hairpin and on the way out, but a good final chicane. This could be front row for Foxy Red. Welcome if you're just joining us. We'll get some good racing underway, but right now we're just finding out the speed order. And Foxy Red up to pole, a 109.001 versus the 005 of Speed Queen. Wow. that's tight.
Danielle just gave him that provisional pole. Lovely slipstream on the start-finish straight. Most likely got those 4 milliseconds.
Charlie is here in the chat cheering on Reshka. Danieli goes purple in the first sector. Avoids the wall this time through the chicane. Let's see, can he get out of this one? Yes, with a little bit of room to spare. He's going pretty quickly here. He's 4/10 faster than his best time so far, and well into the apex, Lightning.
Very nice run through there, taking a lot of speed without invalidating, always what you want to do. P13 at the moment, such close margins that even the smallest error can put you way down the grid. So it's brilliant stuff. Always nice to have a close grid.
Absolutely. So for the line then, Daniele easily pole position. 108.3.
Close grid, and then he goes and does that.
That's something else. That's close to a PB, isn't it? You were saying
that's half a tenth off his time trial personal best.
With still 3 minutes of track evolution, Daniele is on fire. Just as with the excitement of that, Acosta goes P2 as well, significantly quicker than what we thought was nearing the very best out of our drivers. I can't believe Daniele has just put that time in. Tremendous work.
Stunning lap.
Burmeister's going a bit quicker too.
Could it be an Alfa Romeo 1-2, as we saw in Australia at the race?
Yeah, good call. At the moment, momentarily we had an AlphaTauri front row, but that's long ago now.
Nice run for Burmeister.
Yeah,
doesn't invalidate.
Got great lock on through turn 9. Purple middle sector, 1.5 tenths faster than his best. He won't trouble the front row, I don't think, with this, unless somehow he finds a shortcut, but should be much better than P12 at the moment. And I imagine his team boss is looking at him and asking him to start contributing similar points to Daniele. So Burmeister for the line then. And it's good enough for P7, a 109.344. So
very nice.
A second off his teammate though, unfortunately, Lightning. As good as it looks.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Rymac absolutely sending it through the last chicane. And he gets P6.
Beautiful. I've got a message from someone in Italian. I'm afraid I don't read Italian, so either provide your own translation or we'll have to just leave that one for the Italians to enjoy. I haven't seen anything much from the Alpines at the moment, and let's have a look at Matty. What's he up to? Is he on a lap right now? I don't think so. He's invalidated. And we've got what I think is that the Aston Martins. Foxy Red is just weaving, so Matty is, in the Williams. It's Acosta who is in the Alpine. So we have talked a little bit about him already. We'll stay with Matty as long as he's under his time. Another fan of Burmeister in the chat as well.
Good stuff. Brilliant character, especially in the interviews.
Yes. Down then into turn 6 and 7. Very, very slow corners, and as you say, no grip in there, especially in the wet. So far though, qualifying running to dry conditions. Matty going to finish the lap off, but he's not doing a lot better than he did in his previous lap. Just 1/1000th faster. So I think we'll go and have a look at Daniele, because he hasn't hit the first sector yet. He has hit the wall though. He does like rubbing that wall on the way through turn 5. Still
no
managing
damage.
to stay. Yeah, still is managing to stay just over his best time. Mounting the curbs. Livingwall gets out of his way, but he has invalidated, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Max has gone to P3 with a new personal best.
Fantastic.
And sadly, I think Speed Queen made a mistake for the last chicane and has invalidated 2 laps, including a personal best that she was on.
Acosta is going faster, but not fast enough to depose Daniele. I think Acosta might just be defending his front row from the likes of Max and Quinlan. Go on, boy. Wow. Runs it right out on the wall of champions. P2 so far. Daniele's gone. I don't know if he's hit the wall or he's just decided to take the checkered flag. I think we've had our checkered flag. I think we're nearing complete now. I don't think anybody else is likely to set a time. That session finished on me much quicker than I thought it was going to.
Well, Acosta put in a pretty good performance to get close to Daniele, who was absolutely untouchable, to be honest.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes, I'm sure he's going to be happy with that time he's just set.
I think he's the only one happy with it. No one else is going to be.
True. True indeed.
I mean,
well,
that could be heartbreaking for everybody else, especially Livingwall down in P10, championship rival.
Yeah. Yeah, and a rear gunner for Daniele next to him on the grid. Anyway, so Daniele takes the pole position, a 108.340 from Acosta and Max. Then the British trio of A Quinlan, Foxy Red and Speed Queen. We have Kimi Matev, Rymak, Burmeister and Livingwall making up the top 10. And then further down, Nathan, Bills, Reshka, Keza, Martin and Matty, uncharacteristically at the back of the grid. Yeah, quite a session. We just had some incredible times and a very small amount of field spread. I think that's just about 2 seconds for the entire grid, and I don't think everybody got their best laps in there.
No, I think the only one that maximised was Daniele, to be honest. Absolutely fantastic. Bill's on the medium tyre, but he starts P12 anyway, so free choice.
We've got some very bright sunshine in the Canadian pit lane for the race.
I have a feeling it won't rain.
Well, as you say, I think the weather is undynamic. Anything can happen in Montreal. Cars are assembled on the grid. We're just waiting for the drivers to click the button, and we'll be underway very soon. We'll take a formation lap just to get all the tyres ready. Let us know in the chat what your predictions are for the race. I'm aiming tonight again to hit that magical 20 like button, 20 likes on the overall weekly views. We just fell shy last week at 19, so give us a like and a subscribe on the channel. We've got racing at the same time every night this week for you to tune into the YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, you'll make sure you get a notification when we pop up live. But for now, all eyes are on the F1 League. Cycling a little bit long here, Lightning. I don't know if I should start getting worried.
Nah, I don't think so. It's alright. They're just making sure to get the correct amount of fuel in. I mean, personally, I've been known to think I've put 0.7 extra in, but realise I actually have 1.7 in, because I can't count. Yeah. Good stuff, that. Either that, or I put negative fuel in and run out, which I've also done.
So predictions, please, for those watching at home. Please give us who you think is going to win this one. Who will get the first penalty? Who'll be the first retirement? How many safety cars will we suffer? Because this is a track where, while the game has a strong likelihood of safety cars, this track is almost certain, with the walls being so close and the chicanes being high speed and very likely to spit you out and push you into one of the walls.
4 retirements is going to be my guess.
Oh, okay.
And 2 safety cars. 1 virtual.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we've got our counter coming down. Enough drivers have finally just selected their fuel, so if any of them are holding out or have gone off for a bathroom break or something, they will not get away from the line and they will not have their ideal setup on. But hopefully everybody's ready to get going, and we'll take the formation lap ready for you right now. So Daniele racing with number 95.
Ooh, Lightning McQueen.
Indeed.
I think.
So Matty P16 will take the back of the grid, and then looking for strong points for well, the first points for Ferrari is Martin, although he doesn't have a teammate with us tonight, so he's doing it all on his own, and he's got 5 places to make up to get there. We've got the Aston Martins P14 with Keza and 10 with Livingwall. Reschke and Rimac, the Red Bulls, 8th and 13th here. We've got Bills for McLaren in P12 with Max in P3 up ahead. Nathan's in 11th. Burmeister starting 9th.
How many laps will he do on those softs? Australia.
Yes.
20, I reckon.
He certainly is very good at making them last. We've got Kimi in the Williams in P7. Speed Queen and A. Quinlan are doing a fantastic job for AlphaTauri. Best team result for qualifying. And then we have 1 Mercedes, Foxy Red, right up there. But on the front row will be Daniele from Acosta. And I think they actually have the clean side of the grid, but the outside line to the first corner, Lightning, the pole person.
I'm honestly not sure.
No, they've got the inside.
I'm not sure that the clean side or dirty side of the grid makes much of a difference, to be honest.
Okay, Charlie says Speed Queen to win this one. Well, that'll be impressive from P6. Stranger things have been known to happen.
I'm going to say Matty.
Right, okay. Strong call. Right then, guys. We're about to go. It's lights out, and away we go with Daniele smoothly off the line. Acosta well away, but Max falling back into the clutches of Foxy Red and the first of the AlphaTauris, who now starts battling and banging wheels. Foxy hung it out on the outside of turn 1 and kept it going very nicely indeed. We hassle our way through turn 3 and 4, and we've got a massive tank slapper for Rimac, who just held it but wiggled left, right, left, right, left, right until finally getting the car wrestled back under control. The McLaren of Bills trying to go up the inside of Burmeister through one of the slowest sections of the track, but so far so good. We've got our drivers away on the first lap safely, and reminded that the race is brought to you, sponsored by GT Omega and Nowcut Hall, and provided in partnership with gridfinder.com and driver 61. But screaming down the back straight for the first time, the car's fairly close to grid order, frankly, Lightning.
The only person to really lose out was Max from that pretty good quality to P6 at the moment, but not too bad, still within the train. Also, Burmeister had a little bit of a wobble coming out of turn 2, putting him down 2 spots.
I couldn't. It's definitely worth going back and watching that tank slapper from Rimac. It was it's something I haven't seen before. Almost looked like a glitch. It was incredible. Charlie calls out Foxy with a Foxy start. I think that's very, very true. Right at the front though, Acosta and Daniele are getting well away from this pack. I've already put a second on chasing drivers. I'm sure Acosta would have just caught himself a penalty on the way through turn 9. But he's desperately trying not to let Daniele get away, because if Daniele gets away with this, Lightning, he's going to walk it.
absolutely. He is a very fast driver. And he seems very on it this race. Not someone to be messed with.
No, you can see some of the medium runners struggling away from the line. Nathan's up to P8, but predominantly our medium drivers have dropped back. Matty up 2 places already, and Acosta staying with Daniele as DRS is now enabled on the next zone, which I think they have to wait lightning until they get out of turn 7 for the first DRS zone, and by that point it could well be that Daniele is away far enough. Maybe not. I think they've just gone through the detection, so just catch it for Acosta. DRS is indeed open.
Both with very similar levels of ERS, 50% for both at the moment, so pushing a lot. Meanwhile, Foxy with 70.
We'll head down.
Keeping some in reserve.
We'll head down to this battle for 5th position. Let's see Speed Queen defending from Max, Kimi, Nathan, Rymac, all within a second of each other. We're going to have a tremendous DRS train on our hands as Acosta has been gapped. Perhaps not fully sufficiently, but he's being dropped in increments. Speed Queen is away from this group at the moment slightly, but hassling her teammate. Speed Queen around the outside into turn 1 is let go by A. Quinlan. Speed Queen then given a helping hand by the teammate not to fight too hard, and is up to P4. Quinlan then, sorry, A. Quinlan, I keep getting the two of them mixed up. A. Quinlan now on the defensive against Max and the head of presumably what will be a DRS train once Speed Queen gets underway and away from this group.
During that battle between the two AlphaTauris, the Red Bull of Rymac had a spin. Not sure if it was self-inflicted or collision, but back at the grid at the moment.
Well, that's unfortunate for Rymac, who's had quite a dramatic first 4 laps. Martin, it is with a penalty, but actually Kimi was our first penalty recipient, and I think those are just going to be track limit abuse. And Max now on A. Quinlan. DRS on both cars. Max could not get by in sufficiently. He's going to have to wait for Speed Queen to get away, but I think A. Quinlan actually looking quite likely to tackle Speed Queen. She's not showing the speed that perhaps A. Quinlan would like to get away from him and help him gap. His braking zone was almost compromised by not wanting to run into the back of Speed Queen.
Possibly the overspeed from DRS and Slipstream. I'm seeing a few wobbles from A. Quinlan, under pressure from Max, so I think he's going to go for a move here. If he has enough battery power.
Has he gone a defensive? He has. He put the car in the middle of the track just to dissuade that move, but struggling for grip a little bit, hanging it out very close to the wall, and Max will just tuck in through the hairpin, not worry about trying to make a move until the DRS helps him out. But I think A. Quinlan will still have DRS himself, so it's going to have to use a little bit of ERS and a little bit of brakes bravery. Any chance for him? No. Again, A. Quinlan taking the middle of the track, so he knows where he's susceptible, Lightning, and he's positioning the car quite sensibly.
Yep, keeping his front wing intact, because a wing change is not going to help. Both these drivers on very similar levels of ERS. Oh, very, very close to going for a move through that chicane.
You don't see many passes into turn 3, do you?
Absolutely, it's very unorthodox. But applying the pressure everywhere he goes is Max. We saw some brilliant overtakes last race at France, so we know he's very good wheel to wheel.
Yeah, his braking was tremendous in France. Into the North chicane, he was fantastic. So we go to another French-speaking part of the world, and I don't know if he still feels a certain degree of kinship. Max, he is French, so might well have some cousins over there in Montreal. I noticed Acosta has caught back up to Daniele, up at the head of the field as well. We'll keep an eye on this battle for 4th until Acosta gets super close. But we've got our first pit stop.
Oh, really?
A Quinlan in the pits. And then the Williams now attacking Max. Kimi, just thought better of it. But behind them, Bills and Nathan struggling through the first 2 corners. The tyres dropping off already. Is that a bit ahead of schedule? I see Livingwall is dropping down. Has he had a drama?
I expect these softs to last about 9 laps, but they have done qualifying, so they are on their 9th lap. In fact, with the flying lap and 2 in laps in qualifying, it's about the tyre wear of 2 laps. Livingwall is struggling a bit, but he has got nearly a full battery. I think the reason Acosta has caught up so much to Daniele is because he has been pushing and draining that battery. 15% at the moment, with Acosta on 16.
Lap 7, that's quite something. Bills and Nathan swapping around. I think Nathan's tyres are now looking better than Bills, with the mediums getting close, and we'll go back up to the head of field, Lightning, because Acosta got within a 10th on the way into the final chicane.
It was very close, but had to back off under braking us, not hit Daniele, because very close action between the top 2.
Absolutely. It's the pit window is supposedly now open for soft runners to switch to the medium, but that's asking a lot of the mediums. That would be a 2-stopper, Lightning, from here on lap 8.
Absolutely, you have to do a 2-stopper around this track. It's the definitely the fast strategy. Acosta with a bit of wheel spin.
Yeah.
Thankfully, DRS has managed to close the gap a little bit more, so I think he'll be thinking about pitting with that tank slapper.
Yeah, and I think he may well decide to pit regardless of what Daniele does on this lap. Daniele looking a little bit more in control at this stage. That big moment for Acosta, but the power of the DRS for him to still stay this close despite that big moment on the way out of turn 4. No, he decides not to pit, Lightning. I'm not sure whether that was wise, as he puts opposite lock on the way through the wall, the approach to the Wall of Champions.
That was a very scary moment for Acosta. He should really think about backing off a bit, because these oversteer moments are very worrying, especially when you have the ERS advantage. You should make sure not to bin the chance for a win.
Pit stop from Kimi, who drops to the tail of the field. I wonder if he had some damage to mend there, because that's a significant amount of track position lost. We're on lap 9 now, and again we see Max now wiggling his way out of the chicane. And I tell you what, I hate that little lump of arm coat under the bridge that just sticks out. It's not a constant line, and it just always makes me think I'm going to hit it, because you want to be as close to that as possible as you hit the brakes.
This whole track is a very difficult beast to come across. To get a good pace, you have to really play with the limits.
Daniele has now pitted, and Acosta stays out. So Daniele on lap 9 as it becomes lap 10, going on to mediums. So the first stop for Daniele, it's a smooth one, and he's back away. Where does this feed him out, and can he maintain the net lead? Nathan looking good at the moment on those medium tyres from the start. His tyres will be in pretty good condition at the moment, and he's making his way up the field very nicely indeed. Acosta has a near 5-second gap at the front, but Daniele comes out P13 right behind Matti and takes a dive down into turn 3, becomes 4, and Matti didn't let him bite.
That was a very brown trouser moment. He locked the rear tyres and he nearly spun the car.
Yeah, Matti going defensive here. I don't know if he just wants sponsor time on the screen, but he's making life very difficult for Daniele, who tries a switch back for ideal traction, and he should get him easily now on the way down the back straight.
Yeah, more ARS, better tyres.
And again, Matty goes up defensive on the inside. Acosta goes on past the pit lane. In fact, nearly the rest of the field does. I think we've got a pit stop from Reshka, is it? I saw a blue flash dive into the pits. Maybe it was Livingwall. In fact, it wasn't blue at all. It was British Racing green.
Yep, it was Livingwall into the pit lane.
Let's have a look then up at Max and Nathan, who are still clashing and trying to maximise their race pace. Speed Queen now dropped back behind Max and Nathan. I wonder if there was an issue there, because she did have the better position over these two a couple of laps ago, as we watched Daniele having a nice smooth pit stop. Delange asking in the chat, where's the first safety car? We haven't had it yet. I don't know if we're going to get one.
Don't jinx it.
No, indeed, don't say it, or it will appear. Speed Queen and Bill's going side by side around the hairpin.
It was a very surprise dive bomb from Bills. He's made up an incredible amount of time on these front runners, from 12th all the way to P6.
And we have is that Max or Bills in the pits? It's Max who's gone in the pits. Yeah.
And he's got a 5-second penalty.
I just saw. Is that Daniele round?
Is it?
It was Burmeister. Sorry, it was an Alfa Romeo spinning in the final corner. Daniele was around that part of the track, but thankfully it's Burmeister for the lead, and he's really struggling to get the car down, and he just gets a nerf from Kimi for getting in the way, and that was enough to turn him around a second time. Burmeister with his fan club here spun round, unfortunately. Wow.
Kezza's out. Kezza has just completely rammed into the wall, and it's a safety car. Wow.
Right. Okay.
Well,
I can see Kezza on the has straight lined turn 4? Sorry, turn 6.
Yeah.
Just straight lined, straight under.
I think
under the wall.
It must have been some sort of brake failure. Maybe if they're on a controller, their brake pedal must have failed. And this is perfect for Acosta.
Of course.
Well, anyone but Musso.
Everybody pitting, including Nathan here. Speed Queen's in. Bills. Here comes Daniele. Will probably get the lead back, but he has to slow. He's gone in the pits himself. Doesn't want those medium tyres. So every single driver so far, except for A. Quinlan. A. Quinlan's gone on through. He's on 6-lap-old medium, so because he was the first car to pit, and he ends up coming out in P3 with 6-lap-old mediums. Everybody else on fresh mediums looks like lightning. No one chancing a hard run to the end here.
Hard tyres around this track are it's an absolute. I don't think that it's a good idea for Max to go on the hards at the moment. They're the worst tyre on this track.
Oh, definitely. Brilliant stuff for so far. We're up to lap 13. Reminder that we are sponsored by GT Omega, by Nelcut Hall, Golf Hotel and Country Club, and we've got partners of gridfinder.com and Driver61 who help support the racing and the league setup, of course. What were you going to say, Lightning? Sorry.
Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking. So Burmeister, I think he must have some sort of side pod damage, because after he recovered from his spin, he went wide at turn 1, very strangely, and now coming out of the pits, he just went wide into the gravel, the dirt.
Well, we'll stay with him for a moment and see if we can see anything on the car. We'll get a nice view of him, of his left side. No, nothing visible, but you can easily get floor damage that, of course, we'll have no chance of seeing unless he manages to flip the car over.
That would be a very interesting crash if that were to happen.
Definitely. Well, he's a long way back from the safety car queue. We've got Matty, who should be one to watch, Lightning. Perhaps you could watch Matty on the restart because he's on soft tyres, and everybody else apart from Max on hard tyres. So our order on lap 14 is Acosta, Foxy, and A. Quinlan. Kimmy, Nathan, Speed Queen and Bills, with Livingwall and the pole sitter and de facto race leader at the start before the safety car, Daniele, down in 9th. And this has not worked out for him because he pitted just before the safety car. Then we have Matty in 10th, Rymack in 11th, Martin in 12th, Reschke in 13th, Max, and then Burmeister at the tail of the field, just about catching up now, about 5 seconds back from the back of the field. And I trust the Canadian marshals will be getting the car cleared of Keza with that mysterious straight line. And there we go. We will see the safety car in this lap, and it will become our Costa's job to control the race from here on in. Have you got a favourite restart point that you like on the way to the grid here, Lightning? Is it through the final chicane, or do you prefer to make them wait? Oh, he's gone already.
Well, never mind.
Halfway down the back straight. Well, we'll see if it works. He certainly had a gap, and I suppose as soon as you've got a gap, that's when you go. Speed Queen gets a penalty on the way through the final chicane. And we've got penalties in P3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 at the moment. So good luck with working out who's winning at the end. If it remains like that, we would just want either blank penalties or everyone with penalties. Matty not yet made up any places, Lightning, with those soft tyres.
He is going very fast at the moment, so I'm hoping to see good things from my predicted race winner.
Yeah, well, he's done half the job so far, hasn't he? He's up to P10 from the back.
Daniele up the inside of Livingwall into turn 8. A very forceful move, but he makes it work.
Well, we've seen that before. When he's out of position, he certainly commits to the moves, doesn't he?
Takes no prisoners.
Yeah.
Very aggressive, but I think it was fair.
Daniele's won every race he's entered so far in the championship. 2 out of 3.
Good record to have.
Definitely.
Good record to have. Kimmy with another penalty.
Livingwall defending on the outside of the Williams of Matty. Our Costa with a 1:11.0 fastest lap. As it looks like Rymack is challenging Matty's Williams, trying to drive him off the circuit as well to discourage the defence on the way into turn 2. That looks a little bit rude from my liking.
Yeah, sometimes the drivers take it beyond the boundaries.
Yeah.
I guess the stewards will have to take a look at the end of the race if reported.
If Matty doesn't like it sufficiently and has a good view of it, he might put in a report. Keza has been in touch, thankfully, just to say, been playing pinball, it seems, across the walls, and lost the back end through 5, hit the wall, then hit the other side of the track, losing the front left and rear right tyres. Maybe a crash of the week contender. Well, send us a clip, Keza, because if you're going to go out, you might as well go out in style. And now Daniele.
That sounds very interesting.
See if you can do that again if you tried. But yeah, obviously accidentally in style and never purposefully in style. Yeah. Here comes Daniele then. DRS has been enabled but not quite available just yet for Daniele, who is trying to make his way back up towards the front of the grid. Kind of a nightmare scenario for him with the safety car, but you feel he's probably got the pace. We're not quite at half distance, but approaching half distance to get back to the front, Lightning, before the end of the race.
He's got the Daniele has the pace and the will to get back up there. It must be very frustrating to have the safety car happen at that very moment.
Oh, he gets close. We were riding on his front wing, and he got so close through the turn 8-9 chicane, and he goes to the inside, but he's still behind technically, I think, as they cross the DRS detection line, so he might still get DRS. He does indeed. I wonder if he backed out of that one. Nathan up to P3 against A. Quinlan using DRS. Daniele doesn't manage to get past again. I think he's got a good setup, but it's not a top speed setup, and he gets a penalty as well. Well, that's not going to help. Our front two racing without penalties so far.
Insult to injury.
Acosta and Foxy out there in the lead, and in fact Acosta is significantly ahead. We've only just finished the safety car and he's 2.5 seconds up the road.
Well, we did notice that Acosta had saved his ERS behind Musso and was attacking, looking like he was going to overtake for the race lead, and then Musso pit. So honestly, I think that he would have ended up here either way, but it certainly helped to solidify it.
Tell you something, Lightning. Lathan's driving an amazing race so far, up 8 places, with his teammate. No, not his teammate. Another blue car driver, Matty, up 5. But really, it's been a story of who's lost places through this race, with Daniele down 7 so far, Max down 11, and Burmeister down 6. The race is still young, though. There's still plenty of time for the drivers to recover this one.
Burmeister overtakes Max. Max on those very, very slow hard tyres. Absolutely not the tyre you want to be on, in my opinion. The gap to the leader is already 14 seconds, so when Acosta pits, he's going to be right in his tail anyway, with most likely fresh soft tyres. So. And
there's not much of a penalty for the pit lane here in Montreal. It's not very long. Very old school.
Pit lane here, you can go on your outlap and set a fastest lap. That's how.
That's how short it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a famous pit line exit. Famously, when several drivers ran into each other. When it was when there was a red light at the end of it.
2008 Canada, I think it was.
Yeah, makes sense. It's definitely Canada.
Canada, yeah. Mate, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I can't think. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. Oh my god.
Is that Bill's approaching the final chicane? I think Daniele might be a big under rotation as he heads into the pits.
Musso
and he catches.
is in the pits.
Yeah. What's this about?
Has he got damage?
Trying a different strategy potentially. Not enjoying those tyres. Maybe he's flat spotted them.
He's got front wing damage. He's got front wing damage.
Okay.
That is a true shame.
I mean, it is a shame for Daniele, and we wouldn't wish misfortune on any driver, but for the sake of the championship, it does open things up quite considerably for us.
From hero to zero.
Yeah, anyone, and I'm sure it will help the audience figures as well, because no one wants to watch someone win every race. Unless, I don't know, unless they were running. I was going to say, yeah.
For a certain someone.
A certain someone who shall not be named, for fear that you provoke the opposite supporters' ire. But A Quinlan looking quite speedy, but Speed Queen speedier still, who is catching her teammate again, and will be hoping for a similar switch of positions. Is that Martin getting by Matty? We weren't expecting that pit stop from Daniele, who comes out on mediums. Will he get those to the end, Lightning? Those mediums he's just put on?
Absolutely, yeah. 15 laps on the mediums is about what you expect. 15 laps on mediums and then 10 on 2 sets of softs is the usual strategy.
Well, in between these pit stops, we'll just walk you through the grid order. Brought to you by GT Omega and now
Bill's up the inside of Kimi. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Very unorthodox move, but a bad line to get the exit. So
it looks like Speed Queen is going to make a move as well, just up the road from those guys. So yeah, Kimi has made a couple of quite impressive passes in unusual places this race.
Bill's up the inside into the hairpin. Will he still have DRS? We'll find out very shortly. Yes, he does.
So
but he is running very low on battery.
Speed Queen up the inside into the final chicane, and teammate decides to go in the pits rather than fight it. But then A Quinlan's mediums are 14 laps old, so he's kind of splitting the difference now to the end of the race. So he's fairly optimal tyre wear for him, and
Martin
we have penalties for almost the entire grid. And what happened to Martin?
I am not sure.
See him from.
I'm on board with Daniele. to see what may have happened.
Yes, I don't see him. He must be in the
retired
pits.
in the pit lane. Yep,
yeah.
That's always nice.
Well, if you're going to retire, that's the place to do it. But we would prefer our drivers make it to the end. But as I say, though, the grid order brought to you by GT Omega, Nelka Hall, Driver 61 and gridfinder.com is on lap 22. Acosta from Foxy Red, Nathan and Speed Queen that we're watching right now. Speed Queen's caught Nathan at a tremendous rate of knots. Bills in 5th, Kimi in 6th, Livingwall 7th, Rymak, Matty, Reshka, Burmeister, Max, Aquinlan and Daniele Musso from pole. Lightning is at the tail of the field on lap 22.
Absolute heartbreak for him and Alfa Romeo, who are making a pretty good charge in the championship until now. Another issue for Daniele is that he's on the tyres that have done 4 laps in qualifying. The 2 flying laps. And,
interesting, yeah. I wondered why his tyres were so old when I didn't think we'd missed 3 laps and suddenly missed time. But Kimi goes in the pits as well, so he was burning through those mediums faster than most everybody else. 10 laps on the mediums for the majority of the field. Matt is doing 10 laps on the softs and should now get another set of mediums to the end. So Matt's position, Lightning, in P8 is pretty much on merit.
Yeah, it is, but I think that he could stretch one more lap out of these softs and then go for another set of softs.
Yeah, it's not impossible. That's probably what everyone else is doing, a soft, medium, soft strategy. He's done medium, soft, soft, I think, potentially.
Yeah, it would be the most logical strategy. Make up maybe another place on Rymak.
Could be. Here comes Speed Queen, though, down into the final chicane against Nathan. Fairly easily done, and a nice move there from Speed Queen. And she's now hunting down Foxy, who is 3.5 seconds up the road. Bill's pits and puts on new softs. So he's going for softs to the end.
He's going to suffer a little bit of tyre wear at the dying stages of the race, but should be good. Maybe set a couple of fastest laps now. Get right back up to the pack. Good undercut on the set of softs.
Definitely. Nathan doesn't want to let Speed Queen get away, as they both come mighty close to the wall on the way out of turn 9. Both of them enjoying this set of tyres no end. And let's see, we've got about 11 laps to run. They've done about 11 laps on those medium tyres. Burmeister gets by Reshka into the hairpin.
I think that's an issue with Reshka. He was overtaken by Matty, who was 2 seconds behind, and then Burmeister overtakes him.
Seems to be at racing speed at the moment. Might head into the pits, I suppose. I think, yeah, the Matty's Williams heads into the pits now. But yeah, it looks like it might have just been a loss of momentum after the overtake that Burmeister capitalises on.
Most possibly.
Speed Queen hasn't quite got the pace of Foxy at the moment, just dropping back slightly, so Nathan not letting her get away either. Further down the grid we see Burmeister trying to get away from Reshka. Then we've got a fair amount of gaps opening up at this stage, but I expect that to be quite different once the undercut becomes apparent from the second set of pit stops. Matty, remember, pitted from P8 down to P14, one of the first ones, and was already overtaken by Bills on the way out of the pits, as we see Nathan wiggling his way out of the hairpin, and I think brushed the wall on the way out there. So I wonder if that's a signal for himself to head into the pits. See what happens this time. No, indeed, he stays out. I thought, especially as Speed Queen stayed out, I thought he would do the opposite. But look at how many penalties we've got for track limits. Lightning, you called it in our build-up. You said track limits was the biggest challenge around Canada, and yeah, take a picture of that one.
Yeah, Reshka, Kimi and Bills with 9 seconds. I was on board with Bills, and he takes quite an interesting line through turn 3 and 4 chicane. I think causing those penalties, a bit like Vettel at in 2019. I was about to say the same thing, Vettel at Canada.
Yeah.
We know it's Canada. I don't know why I keep nearly saying that. And another penalty at turn 4, chicane. So,
indeed.
living up to what I was saying.
Potential as Rimac catches yet another one as well. Drivers pushing hard on worn tyres at this
Bills
stage.
Is out.
Oh,
Bills
wow.
has just DNF'd. And
Where
it's a
is
safety
he?
car.
So a second safety car then. I'm trying to track down where Bills went out. Oh, there he is. On the exit of 6-7.
Dangerous exit. As I was saying, it can spit you out.
The safety car came too late for Acosta, Lightning, and he's gone on past on 14-lap old mediums, and the rest of the field pit. This is disaster for him, and we might get a glimpse of the McLaren if we ride with Acosta here. The rest of the field pit behind him, apart from Reshka. So he's now got to follow the safety car, and I don't know if he'll bother to go in or not. The marshals just having got rid of the McLaren just as we come to the right area of the track. Acosta's just willing Bernd Mailander to come on, put his foot down, because this is pedestrian speed from the safety car here, and he's desperate to get in the pits. And one thing he does need to be careful of, Lightning, is overtaking the safety car on his way into the pits.
Yeah, 2 seconds and you get disqualified. It's almost instant, nearly impossible to not get disqualified. He has to stay out. Absolutely has to stay out. There's no other option.
And just hope for another one?
Well, just hope that his tyres make it to the end. Just 7 more laps.
Really?
Hope that Reshka can do some defending against Foxy Red on those brand new softs. Yeah, he's staying out. Well,
he's doing what you say, and like you say, he's got a buffer between him and Foxy. That's it's pretty disastrous for him. So with 7 laps to run, I might as well take you through the grid for the final time. Just a reminder, while we're under safety car conditions, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the commentary as well, you can follow me at WibboRed5 on Twitter, where you can find my other races. But do make sure that you tune in to IRL at the same time every night this week for further divisional racing. I think we're going to Canada in all the races, actually, so you'll see how each race compares to this one. But your grid order then under the safety car on lap 28, brought to you by Nelcott Hall, by Driver61, GT Omega, and gridfinder.com, is Acosta in the lead on old tyres with Reshka. Similar situation behind. The only thing that could potentially save Acosta here is the lack of penalty. Foxy Red, brand new softs, no penalties to pay on soft tyres, in 3rd place currently. Then we have our long chain of penalised drivers. Aquinen on 6, Speed Queen on 3, Nathan on 3, Kimi in 7th place on 9 seconds of penalties, and if he doesn't gap the field, that'll push him right to the back with Rimac. Livingwall is in 8th, Matty in 9th, Burmeister in 10th, Max 11th, Rimac, as I say, in 12th, and our pole sitter Daniele still having not gained anything from the second safety car. Back at the back of the field, Lightning, P13.
I think Acosta's gone already.
He has.
Sorry to not talk about Daniele.
It's okay.
That's what I was going to do. And he gets the penalty.
Foxy immediately on the push, gets the inside into turn 1, significantly past Reshka, and mission is go for Foxy for the win on this race. I don't know if Acosta can hold him off here. Did you see some problems further back?
No, just the fact that Foxy's already past Reshka. Acosta's only defence. Cue the Jaws music, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. If it wasn't copyright, I'd be playing it in the background on my phone.
Yeah.
But Speed Queen, I think, has got a strong shout for a podium here today. I know she's got 3 seconds of penalties, but I think she can get by these two and start to push past the rest of the field.
Oh
She
my
dives
goodness.
down the inside. What was that from a Quinlan? Completely mullers the Red Bull of Reshka, and Speed Queen says thank you very much, almost like it was a coordinated move as he pushes the Red Bull wide, and Speed Queen drifts on through. And we've got the Alpine of Nathan. Oh, we've got some fast dive bombs going on, lightning into the final chicane. This is one of those 5-lap kind of races going on now.
It's an absolute sprint race, all out, elbows out. Some banging of wheels between Kimi and Reshka.
Reshka can't hold on with these tyres, and I think Foxy's going to have something to say very soon. I just back up from the TV there, and here he comes, going on by very, very comfortably with that much better grip.
Max up the inside. Oh my goodness, what a dive bomb. That was very aggressive.
I'm afraid we didn't catch it, so hopefully we can find one of the drivers' recordings for that one, because I was watching the lead. Unfortunately, Foxy taking the lead really comfortably through the turn 4, 5, 6 complex, but these tyres are dead on our Costa's car. I don't know if he can even hang on to second, Lightning, at this point.
Now I was hoping he'd get some slipstream and maybe re-overtake. Meanwhile, we had a the nightmare continues for Alfa Romeo. I think they both had some contact and both spun around at turn 2. Daniele is pretty much solidified P12 because Kimi goes into the pits.
And he also had more penalties as well. But yes, Daniele P12 with his teammate, and that's not the kind of teammates together finish that Alfa Romeo were looking for with the one driver in pole. Foxy has amazing pace, as called out by Warislander on the chat. A lot of Dutch comments. Again, unfortunately, Dutch is not one of the languages I speak. If you wanted to speak away in Portuguese, Lightning and I can probably follow it roughly. Lightning definitely. Little bit of Spanish and French, but it don't come at me with Dutch or Italian, unfortunately. Anyway, this is now down to 4 laps to go in this race. Foxy Red has the lead from A Costa and Speed Queen. Speed Queen has gapped A Quinlan significantly, and she's now on the hunt for that second place and could be on for a very strong result here. I think she might have eyes on the top step of the podium tonight, Lightning.
Certainly on track, and fastest lap as we talk about it, 1 minute 10.9, very fast.
Very fast indeed.
If Foxy gets a penalty, Acosta's looking pretty good as well. I don't know how he's staying with him.
He has got
17.
a penalty.
Oh my goodness! Well,
how did you predict that one? Were you on race director there? Because he did, just as you said, get a penalty. I mean, I suppose it's a safe bet to say someone's going to get a penalty, but to call it on Foxy there at that point, wow, what a development with just 3 full racing laps to run, and Speed Queen now hounding, even more likely to get at the front of this field on the road at least. As now Foxy has to push to try and get away from Acosta and Speed Queen. I don't think it's very likely though. 2 seconds in 3 laps. Here comes Speed Queen, forced to the outside. Will have some overspeed, but no, can't get through. Has a better line through the final corner though. And Acosta with a rough exit, really struggling on these tyres. Speed Queen couldn't quite get the momentum to have a look down the inside. It's lap 33 of 35. Rimac and Reshka swapping places. Sorry, Lightning.
It's fine. I'm just shocked that Acosta is managing to stay with a brand new set of soft tyres on Foxy Red. Considering Acosta's on 18 lap old mediums, that is just an outstanding performance in my opinion. Speed Queen battling with Acosta is not going to help chances to catch up to Foxy. It's
not going to help either of them. The only thing is that Foxy was so rapid after that race start that he may have taken quite a bit out of the tyres. Although I think Speed Queen is pushing as well. Of course, they could probably afford to do quali laps for 4 or 5 laps on those softs. Now does Speed Queen have it?
20% ERS for the top 3, now 5%. and amazing overspeed. I think that Acosta's just letting her go by, maybe so that she can battle with Foxy. Could help him out.
Yeah, it could help him. In fact, he can stay within sight of both of those cars and still win this race. He just needs to stay in the DRS zone of Speed Queen. So Speed Queen and Foxy up 4 places each, but they'll each drop a place or 2 after penalties. Nathan up 6. We've called him out several times, but for your pick, Lightning, of Matty, I don't think it's going to happen today. He's in P12 currently.
That's a shame. But within the train of P9, so with 3 seconds penalties, I think on for a net P10 or P9, possibly.
It's quite possible. Daniele has very strong pace. He's just set the fastest lap, and he's about to challenge to get into 10th position, I think, further down the grid. Let's have a look and see what they're up to as Burmeister gets past Reshka, in fact, instead of Daniele getting past them both. Here comes Daniele down the outside of the hairpin. It's not going to help him. He needs to hang back slightly, Lightning, to get the DRS detection. I don't think he will have got it here.
He does get it. He gets some DRS because Burmeister's ahead as well.
Of course, he gets that from Burmeister. Yeah, I forgot that he was close enough to his teammates. They're going to let him by. Oh, an attack from the Red Bull. And a little blend out the throttle. Yes, definitely not a corner to go even too wide into the final chicane. Daniele is wiggling his way down the start-finish straight. I don't know if that was signalling something to his teammate. Is that a thank you? Under braking?
Possibly. The gap is 2.4 seconds at the moment. Acosta needs to stay within the 3-second window of Foxy.
Yeah.
Can he keep this 6/10 buffer that he has at the moment through the final hairpin and chicane?
Yeah,
the nerves are going to be mounting so much at this moment.
That's absolutely true. I think he's going to get DRS, and I think he's going to hold on for a famous result here for Acosta. 2.67 seconds to the line.
It might not happen.
He's got DRS, so we'll close that gap a little bit. Foxy, though, will take the win on the road from Speed Queen in Canada. But I think Acosta for the line. Yes, Acosta takes the win after penalties on 23 lap hold mediums. An astonishing drive at the end there, having missed out on that final safety car and hanging on. Max, 4th place. A. Quinlan in 5th. Strong result for AlphaTauri tonight. Livingwall gets 6th place. Burmeister 7th. If you're wondering why I took my time to get there, it's because I know the penalties are being paid. Nathan in 8th, Daniele in 9th, Matty gets 10th place from the back. Rimac and Reshka, the Red Bulls, in the worst finishing places you could hope for with 0 points, and I did not catch the final classified finishes. Yeah, Matty does get driver of the day after you nominated him for the win from the back, so he gained a lot of places, but it wasn't enough to take the win tonight. And here we have our podium ceremony then. Acosta absolutely hung on for dear life to those tyres. For Colombia, for Alpine, Acosta across the Atlantic picks up a fantastic victory of tyre saving, supreme driving. And we've got Foxy there 2nd and Speed Queen 3rd on the podium. And those would be our nominations for potential interviews if we can get a hold of them, Lightning.
I will try at the moment.
Your finishing order then. Brilliant stuff, of course. Acosta with the tyre saving. 2nd on the grid to 1st. Doesn't tell the full tale, and Kimi actually ended up with the fastest lap, so didn't allow that extra point for Daniele. So Acosta from Foxy Red and Speed Queen. Max, after a fantastic win last week, gets a 4th place. I think he'll be pretty happy with that result, despite starting 3rd after a crazy safety car race. A. Quinlan in 5th. Livingwall from 2nd in the championship up to P6 tonight. Burmeister 7th, Nathan in 8th, Daniele, our championship leader at least, in 9th, and Matty in 10th. Then Rimac, Reshka, Kimi, Bills, Martin, and Keza. It was our first retirement. Still no points for Ferrari. So they still have the monkey on their back there till the end of this one. Lightning's just helping us out organising the podium invites, if at all possible. So please make sure, while we wait for the interviews to arrive, please make sure that that you've liked the video, you've subscribed. I say we're aiming for 20 plus likes this week, please. And yeah, make sure that you've subscribed so you don't miss any IRL action week by week. And remember, this is only round 4 of a 15-round championship, so there's all to play for. It's certainly not done and dusted, and you can absolutely see that our championship leader, Daniele, can have a bad night. It is possible. In fact, I can see a vomit emoji already in the chat from Daniele. Brilliant stuff. I don't know if we've managed to assemble anybody yet, Lightning.
I have got Foxy and Speed Queen invites, and I'm just messaging Acosta to join the interview.
Fantastic, thank you.
May I ask, who was your driver of the day for this race?
I don't generally give it to the winner because they've already got the glory of the win.
I do.
I know you do.
Fantastic.
I was impressed
brilliant.
with Matty. I thought Matty showed some great pace and made up for a really poor qualifying. So showing great strength of mind and character to come back at the race after a poor qualifying. What about you?
For me, it has to be Acosta. To hold on to fresh softs on 20-lap mediums is absolutely impressive. A one-stop around Canada, soft to medium, is just really, really brilliant.
Yeah, terrific stuff. I mean, yeah, we really shouldn't give it to the winner on principle, frankly, but I can definitely sympathise on that one because he did do a great performance and just hung on. I think, what was it, 0.3 of a second he won the race by in the end?
I think it was. It was very close.
Well, I'm waiting to give you some driver debriefs, and we're waiting to see if any of our podium are in a good mood to come and chat. We tend to focus on the podium because, generally speaking, you only get 1 or 2 happy drivers every race at the end. I'm not so apart from a vomit emoji. That's about the only debrief I've received, and we're grateful to Keza for giving us their thoughts after their pinball-like retirement. It's not looking very hopeful for interviews, is it, Lightning, at the moment?
I'm going to see if I can get Burmeister in, because he's always a laugh.
Yes, I think Burmeister collecting 1.4 Alfa Romeo tonight, and his teammate collecting 2.
Acosta has sent us a message saying that he can't join the party because his English isn't very good, despite sending me a message in perfect English. Well, yeah, same problem as you have with Daniele, I'm afraid.
Of course. We do have an international grid. I can definitely sympathise. I'm not sure how easily, even the languages I do study, I would tackle a verbal interview. It is always a little bit easier. Max is available as well after a good strong drive as well, Lightning. But yes, I can definitely sympathise. But a simple debrief would be great from our drivers, if at all possible. I know that written English is a little bit easier to make yourself understood and less nervy. You can keep editing until you're happy, or you've run it through Google Translate. Would anyone like to translate any of the comments that have been in different languages, particularly the Italian and Dutch stuff we've seen earlier on?
I think Burmeister is going to join us.
Excellent.
Oh, okay. He said, me, P7, and I said, yes, but he is smoking outside, so he'll be here in a minute, I suppose. Okay.
Great. Okay, no problem. So Max is hoping to have a chat as well, and I know Max was good value last time. Sadly, we have very few. Well, we have a fair number of British drivers in the grid whose English should be perfect enough to to broadcast unless they're particularly sweary. But sadly, I think Foxy and Speed Queen have gone off to celebrate their podium in their own way. I think I can identify Abby's comment. I'm pretty sure that means "Come on, Burmeister" to the chat to the interview. "Kom op, Burmeister" in Dutch. Burmeister's on his way.
He's right here.
Hey Burmeister, that was a quick cigarette. Congratulations on getting to the end of that crazy race.
I think there was more in here for me tonight, but I unfortunately spun it at the Wall of Champions, and yeah, that was pretty much race over, I think. I saw all the guys have penalties, but then in the end, like Reshka and guys were defending with full battery, and I just couldn't get past quicker.
Well, you look like you had your teammate around you, which I'm sure at the during qualifying you weren't expecting to see Daniele on track.
Yeah, I was expecting him because I talked to him last week if he was joining, because I really want this Constructors Trophy, but I guess we did a bad job tonight.
Well, you moved up and he moved down, so I guess it balanced it out a little bit. How many times did you brush the walls in the race tonight?
Only once when
Wow.
when I spun at the Wall of Champions.
Well, it's named the Wall of Champions for a reason, so you can at least take solace in that. Looks like you've got some fans in the chat. You have to go and see what they've said. If you go back in the live chat, they've been cheering you on in Dutch. I'm afraid I'm not able to read a lot of what they said.
Okay, I'll read it back afterwards. I
Good
just
stuff.
gave myself some good Belgian beer to get the sweat out of my head, because this is really a track where you need to be focused all the time.
Good. Well, yeah, that's a good way to wind down. I should probably take that lead from you as well. Well, good drive tonight, and thanks for being a good sport and joining us in the interview.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. I think we had Max join as well. Max, pleased with fourth tonight?
Yes. First, I'm sorry. I don't know if I was invited or not.
No problem.
Yeah. It was a really crazy race, like always.
Yeah.
I started from P3, so a little bit of pressure, and then I missed the start completely. I went from P3 to P7, I think. And then 10 laps after that, the moment I decided to pit, then the safety car came out. So it was like disastrous for me. But we had another safety car with 10 laps to go, so I was able to put the soft tires. And the end of the race was just crazy. I'm really happy to recover to get that P4. So it's been a strong beginning of a championship for me. So yes,
absolutely,
really happy.
Yeah, it was good to see the McLaren running high. You can always tell the McLaren on track, so it's always easy to notice where you are. But yes, that second restart, it looked like we were having a 5-lap race, because the way cars were just all over the track, left and right, and 2 and 3 wide sometimes through several corners. You're not supposed to do that in. Looked like it was the margin for disaster was very, very fine.
Yes, and we had drivers on the medium, drivers on the soft. It was really crazy. Honestly, I think I overtook I don't know, like 5 or 6 cars in like 2 or 3 laps. It was absolutely crazy, really, and I enjoyed a lot because luck was with me this time. So we will see, but I hope that all the viewers have enjoyed this race. I'm sure they have.
I'm sure they will, and I'm sure you will if you watch it back as well. I hope we can get a clip of those few laps where you overtook lots of cars from your footage. That'll be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'll try.
Good stuff. Thanks, Max, for joining in the interviews. Very, very good, and congratulations on following up a strong weekend last weekend with a good another good race. Consistency will be key to the end, towards the end of the championship, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I'm still P3 in the championship, so it's crazy for the moment. But thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Max. Great to hear from you. Well, Lightning, I think we're reaching the end of our footage tonight. Any last thoughts or reflections? Any drivers you want to call out for special mentions or anything?
Maybe Kesha for the best crash ever.
Yeah, again, we'd love to see that crash, Keza. If you want to let us have the link in the Discord, we can share it out on the channel. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that one, Lightning. Thank you very much for contributing to the commentary, as always. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with us all the way to the end. And like I say, you can follow me on Twitter at WebORed5. Lightning doesn't want to be followed on Twitter, or he wants occasionally to pretend he's not on Twitter. Which one is it this week, Lightning?
I don't like the place.
Okay, well that's probably fair. Yeah, appreciate all your support. We appreciate the support of our sponsors, and thank you for contributing to a fantastic evening's racing. Make sure you tune in next week, of course, but I'm sure you've all subscribed by now. I've asked you enough times. Thank you again to everyone, and thank you for the leaders and supporters, the admins of IRL, who get us all racing and organised and do the standings and all the hard work, while I just sit here talking about it, what I see in front of the race each week. Congratulations to our podium, and thanks to everyone. We will catch you all on the next race day.